everyone, Tanecia Sweetee Newman here, your friendly fitness instructor. I am here to share my story on how I became transformed, how I chose to transform my life. Now, I want to be upfront and honest with you. Transformation is not easy. Transformation is not an overnight process. Transformation is not just something that you can do at a snap of a finger. It is a daily workout. It is a daily exercise. It is a daily activity that you have to be intentional about to shed the weight. And the weight that I'm speaking of that actually helped me to transform my life is the emotional and the mental weight that I carried for so long. My emotional weight and my mental weight started piling on at 7 years old when I lost my dad. And then more weight piled on at 15 when I became a victim of rape. Then more weight piled on at 17 when I got into a relationship with a man that was much older than me, 9 years my senior. He was abusive, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So then more weight piled on when I became a teen mom at 18 years old and still in an abusive relationship. So shortly after giving birth, 2 years, my daughter was 2 years old at the time, her dad was murdered. Yes, he was actually murdered. And this is more weight that's piling on. Now I'm faced with raising a child by myself, trying to figure out how to navigate through life as a single teenage mom. So I went from carrying all this weight from back of the age of 7 years old. Now I find myself in one unhealthy relationship, one entanglement, one situationship after another. And this is all the weight that I've carried throughout my life. So fast forward, here I am as an adult, 29 years old, and I find myself in a relationship with a man who I thought was the one. 90 days after dating, we got married. We wanted to do the right thing by God. We wanted to get married. We wanted to have sex. We wanted to do everything right, but we rushed it. And to be honest with you, this was still emotional and mental baggage and weight that I carried from my past that I did not heal from properly. So I found myself in this relationship with another individual who was emotionally and mentally weighed down, who was emotionally and mentally unfit. And in doing that, the relationship quickly became abusive. Now this abuse came packaged a little differently from what I was used to in the past. Now I could identify the red flags of, the name calling. I can identify the red flags of, the mental and the verbal abuse. But this came a little bit different. It came in the form of financial abuse. Yes, where I was manipulated to do things financially that I knew was not healthy for our relationship. And then it turned into spiritual abuse. So because he was studying to be a minister, and I was still trying to find myself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, I became a victim of spiritual abuse. And you might ask, well, what is spiritual abuse? Spiritual abuse was when the word was used to control the situation in the household. The word was used to control me. Scriptures would be thrown at me and things of that nature to manipulate me into submission of whatever it is that my husband at the time wanted. So fast forward, when he finally put his hands on me and he attacked me, I decided to leave. I said, enough is enough. I have to leave for my children. I have to leave for me. So when I left, I decided to return to the first thing that I ever loved, which was dance. I started taking dance fitness classes, and the emotional and the mental weight that I shed in taking care of myself and returning to what I loved and doing what actually means something to me helped me rediscover who I was. Because I started implementing self-care and I started seeing the physical weight shed off, which was a bonus, I started noticing that I just felt empowered. I felt better about myself. I wanted to get to know more about me. I started loving me. I fell in love with myself. I got to know myself, and in doing that, that helped me go back and just rediscover all the things that was connected to this emotional and this mental weight that I carried so long through life. So now I am here to share with you and to let you know that emotional and mental weight is something that you can lose. You can become emotionally and mentally fit. I encourage you to find the things that you do, find the things that you love to do, return back to those things. And in doing that, you're implementing self-care. Take time, get to know who you are before you hop out there and get involved in anything. I don't care what it is, but you cannot take care of anybody. You cannot be the best you if you are not emotionally and mentally well. So that is my journey to how I became transformed and how I am becoming transformed, because this is an everyday process. When you have carried the load, or you have carried so much weight for so long, this is not something that's just going to melt off. This is not a quick fix. This is not a quick diet. This is something that you have to take time and work on and be okay with the process. Enjoy the process. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story with you. And if you could walk away with anything, I would just say, love yourself enough to shed the weight. Be transformed emotionally, mentally, and that physical is the ultimate bonus. Thank you so much.